Hi, I'm Vaughn Daly. It is the 14th of February, 2024, and you know, I haven't made a video for a while, and it feels like I've just been under attack and not able to gather my thoughts. So today I prayed, and there's some things I want to talk about that are important, and what I've heard lately and questions I've had lately, it goes like this. Do we as Christians have to follow the government in whatever they say? And everybody that says that we must follow the government quotes Romans chapter 13. And the first few verses of Romans chapter 13, it would be very easy to suggest that that's what we must do. But that's not the meaning behind it. If you read down through Romans 13 to the latter part of the chapter, it talks about the sins of the people. That, like if you have a godly government and you have godly people, there's no problem, right? Well, that's the idea. But if you have a wicked government doing the sins that it warns the people about, if you have a godly government, then they should be in fear, right, of the government. What happens when you have a government that is conducting the sins that it warns the people about? What do you do then? Well, what we do is follow God's law. And if what they're asking you to do interferes with what God would have you do, you follow God. Simple as that. And if you want some examples, I can give you some examples. If you go back to Daniel, when he was told he had to pray to King Darius, and he said, and he openly prayed to God 3 times a day, and he was thrown into the lion's den, right, because of disobeying the king. But right there tells you he was following God and not man. King Darius was the government, right? We don't follow the government just because they say. If it's not godly, we don't follow them. If you have a godly government, that's a different story. Another example that I really like is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When they didn't follow, I think it was King Nebuchadnezzar, and he threw them into the burning fire, right? And they walked out unscorched. In fact, when King Nebuchadnezzar threw them into the fire, he had made the fire so hot that the people throwing them in got scorched. And the really interesting thing, when King Nebuchadnezzar looked in, he saw 4 bodies instead of 3. Wonder who the 4th body was. But when they walked out, they were unharmed. It changed the course of the kingdom and the king's life, right? We have to follow God. When we look at our kind of mind blank there, our Declaration of Independence, and it talks about we were given unalienable rights by God, that all men are created equal. What does that mean? We're all created equal? Because people who don't believe in God say we're not created equal. Well, yeah, you may be stronger than I'm stronger. You may be smarter than I am, right? But that's not what that means. It says we are all created equal under God. We all have rights that God gave us, and the government cannot take them away, no matter what they try to do. Once the Son sets you free, you're truly free. No matter what the government wants to do to you. Liberty, if you don't know what liberty means, I would suggest looking it up in the 1828 Webster's Dictionary for a full definition of what liberty is. Today's dictionary is a decent example of a definition, but 1828 Webster's Dictionary will give you the full-blown effect, because they have changed. You've probably noticed the definitions have changed over the last 2 years, over the centuries, right? To make them like they make them less impactful. Words less impactful. They change the meaning of them, because it used to mean bullying somebody meant you were beating him up or something like that. Today, bullying is used if you're asking somebody a question that they don't want to answer, they call you a bully. Well, yeah, you can be a bully because they don't want to answer because they know they're wrong, right? So we're going to leave it there today. There's so much more, but always stand up for the truth. Stand firm for the truth and then stand some more. And don't be afraid, because as a Christian, you've been adopted to God's family, right? He's the King of Kings, King of Kings, and Lord of Lords. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, may you always walk in the truth.